Mason Ramsey. He messaged me. He was like, dude, I love the Dukes of Hazzard videos.
Right.
And I remember sharing that with you guys and stuff. That was pretty cool. We should have used
feel dumb, but who's that?
Walmart Yodeling kid. You don't know him?
Yeah. He was watching.
Oh, you're a king. I'm going to take your Arnold Palmer and set it behind mine so I can hide it. I go, hey, king, you want it back? Whole thing just goes all over the table.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Pickle Jar Podcast. It's a big event today. We have, well, almost everybody's favorite YouTubers here with us. One of them drove 15 hours, the other one 1, and the other one 3. So it was a trek to get this all to happen. Austin Farmer with us today. Grant, a.k.a. The Squad, is with us as well. And Buck, everyone knows him as the Rental Man. Buck is with us. This podcast is hosted by myself, TheFormalPickle, and co-hosted by King May. How's it going, guys? Welcome to the pod. Well, that's fantastic.
Nice.
We're still recording. We just lost sight of what we were recording. I just want everyone to know that. Anywho,
That didn't take long.
it's a jank setup we've got here today, but we're here with friends, and that's what matters. So, who wants to go? What was your experience coming down here? How do you like the bar? Anybody?
Bar was crazy.
Bar's pretty cool.
Dude, I pulled into town right around the corner, and it was just a F-250 Prius and then a Honda car. I couldn't figure out whose Honda car it was, but it was Bucks. But
Yeah.
that's it. That's in this town. But the bar is sweet. I love it.
It is very well designed, and I'm glad that we're hosting it here today. We were going to find a place up in Ankeny, Grant, but yeah, that was a hassle. So here we are.
Hey, I like the drive.
Austin, speaking of drives, you've had quite the drive.
Yeah, I had quite the drive down from Saskatchewan, Canada. I ended up here. I have no idea how, to be honest, but I made it.
If I think
Gas
I'm correct,
money and
you
a
just
dream.
got lost and are asking for directions.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it happened. But I'm down here now, and yeah, I've had a good time.
Very
Some cool
good.
stuff. But
We've
you
been-
guys are going to see in a vlog.
Yeah, we've been doing a ton of stuff. By the time this comes out, your vlog will have been out for sure.
Most likely, yeah.
So what have we done? First day, we hang out with Grant and Spencer,
Yeah.
right? What did we go do? Come on. I need you to catch on
Bring it
here.
back third grade. Let's
we
see.
do.
Remember, tell us
We
the
did
story.
eventually went and swept Grant's shop, which
We hauled off a dead deer. Found a dead deer.
We did.
Yeah.
We did. We put it on the ATV. And then our gloves smelled so bad, and Grant puts his right next to me in the back seat.
Yeah.
Very thankful for that. But that was a good time. We got to go look at Grant's farm that he bought, I believe, last year now.
Bought it
At this point.
December 10th, 2020. Yeah.
Right.
Well, last year was first year farming. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
And it was really cool to see that. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's Grant Hilbert, I believe, right, on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool videos. I've been enjoying them myself. So was getting the farm like your goal the whole time, or what was your idea?
Eventually, that was life goal. I thought I would eventually get there when I was like 40 years old. Eventually, be able to purchase land, purchase some equipment, start farming. But it happened a lot quicker and stuff. And YouTube and FarmSim made that happen. So
Right.
yeah, it was crazy. I'll remember December 10th, 2020, the day I walked on the first farm, like forever. I'll remember that day forever. So. Yeah.
And Bitcoin, of course, too, right?
Oh, Bitcoin.
yeah, well, that's
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Can't forget that.
So when you go from farm sim for however many years, playing the game, farming in the game, and then you do it in real life, was there like a bit of a shock to that you realized, things are way more complicated, or did you have a pretty good understanding?
No, I always describe it as like when even though you don't do something, but you grow up as a kid, like say you love NASCAR. You're never going to actually drive a NASCAR as a kid. But, if you watch it enough, if you read all the articles and stuff, you find ways to learn like a bunch of little stuff about NASCAR before you actually do it.
Right.
So that was kind of me. I just was always passionate about it, and just you'd pick up little things as a kid and stuff. But hey, going into it the first year too, like there was a lot I thought I knew, but I didn't know. So a lot of hopefully year 2 going into it, I can kind of understand the finances a little better and actually actually put together a balance sheet a little better of the operation and stuff. That's what I'm hoping for. So
Gotcha. Do you have any big changes or plans for the next year that you know of, or is it going to be just kind of business as usual?
Spencer wants to buy an excavator. Spencer wants
Really?
to buy an excavator to clean up the farms because they're in. I buy them and they're in like really rough shape. They're ugly. They're not nice, flat 80s. They're ugly. So Spencer wants to buy an excavator, clean it up. So we may do that.
That'll be pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
Great content on it too.
yeah.
Yeah, and strange segue, but the excavator in Farm Sim, dude. I don't know if you played with that, but that's what you just made me think
The
of.
Volvo?
Yeah, you can dig anywhere,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Yep.
It's so cool.
Wow.
Buck, why didn't you figure that out? Why aren't you the one that did that?
Yeah, come on, Buck. You're supposed to
You
be a
guys know
modern
that thing
genius.
called Lewis scripting? Yeah, ain't happening. Nope. He don't pay me enough.
Just had to put that out there.
That's above my pay grade.
You can script a wheel though.
Well, that's more than Austin can do, I suppose, eh?
Well,
Not a modern,
at least, hey, hang on. I'd like to point this one out because I missed my segment of what my favorite part was coming down here.
Okay.
I had my great moment last night at Outback Steakhouse. Austin cannot script a wheel, but apparently I cannot hold on to a glass because after doing a little prank of, oh, here, King, I'm going to take your Arnold Palmer and set it behind mine so I can hide it. I go, hey, King, you want it back? Whole thing just goes all over the table. We're not talking about no, I'm not sitting on the edge of the table. I'm sitting on the whole booth. This thing goes all over Jake, and I felt embarrassed.
Yeah, I appreciated that, Buck. I wasn't planning on getting a lemonade all over my lap that night, but
Actually, no, you did, because when we were walking in, you said, hey, wouldn't it be funny if we all just dumped a bucket of water down our legs and walked through this wind? So in reality,
Well, we
you
were
set
talking-
yourself up.
I don't
Talking
remember
about
saying
shoes,
that.
though, man.
Yeah, completely different thing.
A little different.
Close enough. We were in the same quadrant.
Okay. Sure thing, Buck. So, aside from Buck being a pain and spilling lemonade,
When am I not a pain? That's the real question.
that's true. Speaking of which, we have a long history of Buck being a pain, all the way back to County Line, where it all started. I'm sure people would like to hear some stuff behind the scenes of the first role play and so on.
How'd County Line start, Buck? Run us down on that.
Well, I believe it all started back when Jake and I got the pickle jar server basically going with the all glory of us 15 in that group at the time. You were basically were the Twitch streamer back then. Were you still in Florida when that happened, or did you just move back?
I think I was back in Iowa, just barely
Yeah.
back in Iowa.
I think because I remember we started originally on Westby. We kind of got a thing going, and you ended up breaking the game because the amount of bales you put on that hill.
I did.
And,
160 something bales. I don't remember the number.
And we didn't have any auto load at that time, so that was a process and a half. But then after that, we ended up swapping to Midwest Horizon, of which we actually know we did start a little bit early on Westby because you built the original co-op, which was
Yeah.
a first steps to doozy over the side of the road because it was about a 40-foot drop to the
Yeah.
top of the pavement.
Yeah, I flattened out a gigantic hill and made the biggest cliff off the side of the road. You could drive out on top of the shed at the co-op. It was not well done.
And I think I actually remember because I got the beta version of the landscape tool like a week before everyone else did, or at least before you did. And I was practicing with it, and I ended up having to somewhat teach you. But we ended up doing that. We swapped to Midwest Horizon, and when we ended up going there, once again, you built the co-op, and however long it was to decipher it, I was sitting at that one corner. It was like a sunflower field where it was right on the corner. It looked like an intersection where you would see a dealer. And at that point, I'd been thinking, why not run a dealer? It's a business.
Keep in mind at this time, there's practically only myself and Buck in the server.
This was 2019.
Yes,
Yeah.
early 2019.
Yeah.
The game was not out very long. We were getting like our first mods even.
Yeah, it was something like that. And as we kept going on through there, we never actually got the dealer on that one. It was when we switched to County Line, which I don't remember why we did that one, the switch to it, or was it just that it came out?
Well, I think we chose County Line. We went and we looked at a few maps, and there was something about County Line. It had two towns. I think that was probably the biggest part of it. It had two
Something.
decent towns on it, and we felt like it was good for role play. Yeah, you found a place after however long, built your dealer.
We got that whole thing, and then we decided. I remember by that point, I'd been sending you projects every now and then, because back when we were at least on Midwest Horizon, I was working on it. The first one that I remember you basically blowing up was that 2017 Chevy, and you did the little thing of, he put squad plates on it, just freaking out because I'm not sure it had been the first time you opened. So giddy little me decided that it was going to be a great idea to just blow it up, send it to Jake. And then I started working on that Kubota, and I think that's where everything kind of turned the corner.
Kubota tractor.
A tiny little Kubota utility. So we got that. So I ended up getting that done. And for the fact that I don't work on agriculture equipment, anybody can see that. It was very surprising the thing even drove.
And it wasn't bad. It was a pretty good little Kubota tractor.
I think a majority of that was because I just swapped the hood.
Well, you know.
We get it. It was early. We were learning. My stuff was still garbage.
Well, which Grant had
organized.
very well pointed out before the Kubota tractor in a video, by the way.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
I think it was that
called
Chevy, and I hated it.
The Chevy, yeah, you put aftermarket. It was the ugliest rim.
That was a
on that
custom project for somebody. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
But we got. I remember that we especially got. Oh, go ahead.
Both me and you agree that
Yes.
it looked pretty darn ugly.
Yes, it really did. I did not like that road armor bumper on the front.
But, yeah.
But we ended up doing that. I sent the Kubota to you. And then that's when we got the idea, okay, we need to make something, because the joke was, I think this would have been around June. We said, all right, well, joke's on this, but what would happen if we ended up somehow getting this guy on for something that you could be a 4th of July parade. Who cares? Let's take a whack at it. You had the film experience from college, and I had the modding experience at the Facebook background. So we kind of got some stuff together. You built the co-op site. I built the deer site. And we finally actually got the whole idea of the roleplay.
You built the co-op, the first one.
Did I?
Yeah, you built that. I asked you to build it. The one on County Line? You built that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I think that. Wait, oh, that's right. You were still a flat slab special kind of guy, weren't you?
Flat slab special. You got that.
Well, I think you tried building. We had the same kind of ideology.
Well, we
but-
had another save, if I'm not mistaken. We had County Line, and I tried to build a dealer. I screwed it up really bad, deleted it. You hadn't built your dealership yet.
Oh, that's
and
right.
then
Yeah.
we did it again.
Well, we did. We got everything else set up, and then we recorded our best intro. I still think that's our best intro ever. Half the shots that we did for that were absolutely amazing.
It was.
And I ended up finally getting the last mod, which I'm still surprised on that Kubota. Daggerwin was using the heck out of that thing. Really fun. But we finally decided, I'm like, all right, here comes the option. You had been posting for the past 3 weeks. Your comment section had been going nuts saying, we want him to farm. We want you to farm. Why aren't you farming? It's a farming game. You haven't farmed in a year and a half since UMRV. And we get the idea and we pitch it to you. I'm not going to do something until it changes how the game is either played or can be presented. Something that'll bring that interest back into farming. And lo and behold, I ended up texting you about the option, got a few things going, and you said, all right, let's get in the chat. Let's do this. By that point, I was already freaking out. And 2 nights later, I'm on the phone with you down at my mom's, standing outside, sitting on the bench, basically going nuts. And you were very interested. And we kind of agreed about a week's timeline that we'd get him on, and then he'd probably talk to you to get some more stuff set up on the tech side of things.
Well, even before all of this, we wanted to show an example of what it could be and what it was meant to be. So we recorded 2 episodes, or 3.
I think it was 3.
3 episodes of just Buck and I to start it all out.
Wait, take that back. We did 4. We lost 1.
Well, that's what I was going to get into. We did the first episode twice because we did it one time and we hated it. So we did it again because we wanted it to be right. We wanted it to convey what we wanted that series to be. I remember Buck didn't tell me this, but apparently he had you comment on that video. He was like, oh, this will freak him out. This will make him happy. So I see that comment. One of the first things I do is screenshot it and send it to Buck. I'm like, bro, did you see this?
Yeah, that one was staged.
Yeah.
I think it ended up doing that, and then you finally got on. We started messing around. I specifically remember you saying, well, I think what I'm going to do is I'll do this at least maybe once or twice a week, just trying to keep in pace. We'll see how it goes. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do this. This man's on for 2 recordings. The next thing you know, he's like, we need to do this every single night. I love this stuff.
It was almost every single night we were on.
That was fun times. The role play stuff, I guess when you're a content creator, especially when you're posting videos at that time every day, I'm always looking for new stuff. Like, it gets old when you post, 1,000 videos on YouTube and stuff. You're always looking for new stuff. So I'm pretty much willing to try anything new. So that's why it was so easy for you to convince me. Heck yeah, why not try it, I guess. So.
Right. Yeah. And so the first time that we recorded together would have been, first there's an ongoing joke that has spawned from our first recording together. Every start of every new series we do, we meet at a gas station.
This is actually true.
It's very true.
That is true.
Every single one. Because the very first episode we did, we meet at a gas station. You roll in, you're this dude from New York, told you pizza place.
Hang on, can we also mention that I think they were all Casey's too?
Are they?
I think they all were.
Most of them were.
Most of
If
them,
it was
at
on
least.
County line, it would have been Casey's, I think.
Right. But the County Line, personally, was probably one of my favorite series we've done. Flint Hills is up there among the favorites. What about you guys?
Well, the thing is, too, probably, right when we got going with that, probably 2 weeks later, we just start pushing it into other things like camping and stuff like that.
Right.
Everybody pulls up, and then, God, I don't remember. It was a good camping video. We just roast people at the gas station and then go camping, stuff like that.
Can we also mention the fact that that's why I actually got my newest name?
We got rid of
That's where I got. That's where we got my name.
It is.
Who? God,
You're the one that did it because you're like, I drive in with a cotton trailer behind the thing because we forgot to put the trailer packs in. And you're like, what, is that a rental? As you proceed the thing to just squat so badly in the rear. Excuse our audio guy. He's interrupting our great story.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
He'll get it eventually.
And I'm the only one because I can't remember if it was you that sent me it or it was, I can't remember. I think it might have been you. I fixed up the RV.
Yeah.
Because I also was the one I believe I invited you on. If I can.
I was the first video that I was on was a roleplay video. Was on the farm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because weren't you his farmhand for the longest time? Then you moved out north? Yeah, something like that.
But anyways, we need another, the camper. I was always wanting you to put a big lift kit and stuff on it. You just
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. 2 weeks
Buck is
later.
the most stocked guy I've ever seen. He's more stocked than me.
Yeah. I like my XL rims. You can fight me on that one. Steelies for life. Oh, Steelies for life, people.
I'll fight you on that one.
What about the transition? Watching some of your guys' older content, a lot of it was longer, half hour.
Oh yeah.
And whatnot. Where did you guys feel that transition was down to keeping it shorter? Was that just to change the pace, or?
I guess just learning how to edit better and just seeing what other YouTubers do. Obviously the standard for content has been a lot shorter nowadays than years ago.
Yeah.
Even 2018, 2019.
Were your guys' analytics showing that too?
Not so much when I started making videos shorter, but I just thought I could put a lot more into a shorter time frame and it would not drag out the video so much. And I just kind of like that style.
Yeah.
So
I would say 15 to 20 minutes seems like, after all these years, what I've felt like is probably the perfect video length. But then also, obviously, if you're not editing that whole 20 minutes, that's horrible. So
yeah.
Usually if you get hour and a half recording, then you can edit down to 20 minutes. That's what I think is the sweet spot. Sometimes we don't hit it though.
Yeah.
Lately, I've been really shortening up my content. I've Gilbert. He's been editing all of my content for me, and I pretty much told him, focus on pacing. If at any point in the video it starts to feel like it's dragging on, cut that section, cut wherever it starts dragging on. If it's the video itself, just end it. If it ends up being 8 minutes, 30 seconds, it's 8 minutes, 30 seconds. I want the full time that you're watching that content to not ever feel like you're thinking, man, this is getting a little slow or this is getting repetitive. I just want it to be something new for the whole thing so you watch the whole video. So that's why I've been shortening my content up a lot. And I've actually seen pretty positive responses from that. Not many people have had an issue with the content being shorter because I feel like it's just become more refined.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, I mean, just it's a natural thing, but people attention spans. No one wants to sit there like we used to with great guy Bill Stimax. 3.5 hour farm sim Saturdays. I used to watch them from start to finish, and my mother would be completely mad at me, but I didn't care. But now it's a matter of, it's like if you even see a video that's usually over 15, 20 minutes, you're already skipping through at 2:30 just to kind of see what's going on.
Right.
But at least on my analytics, from what I've seen, that same thing about 15 to 20 minutes, but sometimes it goes to 25. Is the best thing that I've seen that worked, and it was especially in that last one where I did the car mechanic sim mixed with farm sim to build that stuff, is multiple topics. It's where if you skip too far in the video, all of a sudden there's a completely different thing going on, and then you have to back up and watch that part through. And if you can do it right between maybe some time lapses, some music, then you're actually doing the work, maybe commentating, throwing a comical joke if you need to. It all kind of just fits together into that one little production. And if you do it, again, if you do it right, then the video's there. Might not be the greatest results, but it's consistent. And that's what really comes down to.
Right. So is that one of your favorite videos that you have on your channel that you've done?
As of right now, so far with that new homeowner series, I would say that is a top video. And the results, it just hasn't been out as long. But those first 3 videos, especially the first one, it's climbing into that top 10 already of most viewed. So it's definitely cooking along. The only one I don't know how, why, or it performed the way it did was a Lone Oaks video. A solely Lone Oak video. Top 4. I don't know how.
I had the same thing happen in 19. I had just one of the many Lone Oaks videos that I did. Just did insanely well for the longest time, and I didn't understand why. If it was title or thumbnail. You know, it was at the beginning of me doing YouTube videos. But, so we go ahead.
I was gonna say, I would say the best series we did was Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
100%.
It's not a series that we've overused, because sometimes you can just overuse a series until it just starts dying out.
Yeah.
We honestly haven't. Like, we probably pretty much ended that on a good note, and it's just like, once we decide to bring it back, we'll bring it back. But I remember that was hilarious because it was let's do Dukes of Hazzard, and then we got Austin as Cooter. And then who went next? It might have been Buck as.
But I was Roscoe. Stevio was.
You do a Roscoe voice. And then I'm like, holy crap, that's amazing. And then Jake just starts randomly talking as Enos. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And then Stevio comes on and talks as Boss Hog. And the roles just hit perfect. Like, all in a span of like 30 seconds, everybody just started saying a role.
Yeah.
These guys can voice act. I don't know how.
My favorite part of that very first one had to be you're sitting there across the tracks, and I was trying to catch you. I actually lost visual of you, and it was right at that railroad. And we all know there was that one random collision there. I go boogieing over the top of the tracks, actually choked on a cookie that I was eating, barrel rolled this sucker, and he's just watching. He gets a perfect view of me. Just shoot. It was great.
It's a great clip. In fact, I think it's a clip that was very well received on your TikTok, Grant. If you remember, there was had some TikToks being posted. That one did pretty well, if I'm not mistaken.
Dude, we even had Mason Ramsey. He messaged me. He was like, "Dude, I love the Dukes of Hazzard videos."
Right.
And I remember sharing that with you guys and stuff. That was pretty cool. We should use.
Feel dumb, but who's that?
Walmart Yodeling Kid. You don't know him?
Yeah. He was watching. I was like, that's cool.
It's like I felt dumb now.
So we know Buck's favorite video that he's made. We know your favorite series. Is that also one of your favorite videos you've ever made, or is there a different one?
God, Dukes of Hazzard's probably.
It's up there.
There's one other video, but Dukes of Hazzard's probably one of the best. Yeah. Honestly, Dukes of Hazzard. Yeah.
Okay. Austin, what about yourself?
Survival farming by far. It's a series I just recently started, and I'm putting a ton of work into the videos and editing them and setting them up and trying to make stuff as realistic as I can and manage the money and everything. And it's been my favorite series so far, and it's been doing really great. So people are clearly liking it. Yeah,
I've watched some of those videos, and the edit is really, really good on those. You have it really fast paced. You have text and graphics and specific shots. Too, that all work together really well. I know we've talked a lot about YouTube stuff, and I've said for probably 2 years now, without really doing it, that we need higher edited content.
Yeah, definitely.
Farm sim. I just think that's the next step, and you're pushing it there, and the results are showing.
Oh yeah, it's definitely like something that I'm not used to doing, and the videos take a heck of a lot more time, and my editing is like, it's not like pro, but I'm definitely improved, and I can definitely see it going further. But
Right.
yeah,
I've been really enjoying it, and the numbers show that everyone else is too.
Oh, yeah,
It's a
for
series
sure.
you should definitely keep doing.
yeah. I'm gonna try.
So,
Rich redneck.
Actually,
Oh, rich
Rich
redneck.
Redneck.
Oh boy.
oh.
That's Austin's special.
Yeah, that's my specialty. Everybody loves
Maybe
it.
RCC has now turned into Rich Redneck.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I'd take that. Hang on. I'd probably have to say the highlight though, and we already have visual display of that special event that happened. Was we all know what happened with the dealer series a couple months ago in March. When that's kind of where I kind of feel the fallout of Flint Hills kind of started, was basically me going off the radar for a few months, because we all know who kind of laid down the hammer on us. But I ended up starting that new dealer a couple months later, Wood River. Go check out the merch. We got ourselves some Wood River stuff.
here come the
But,
shameless plugs.
The
everyone.
shameless plug.
but for $5.99, you can go buy yourself a mug. Please.
Crazy.
use,
That was all bleeped, dude. I don't know why.
We just hey, we got an advertisement. Use code SQUAD to get 5% off Apex Gaming PC.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you got to use code Farmer on that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
competition.
Stepping in now.
But I gotta really make if he's up to watching at this point, I really gotta thank good old Marty out of Prairie State Tractor. We actually got a full-blown dealer to side with us. I've yet to actually get the whole thing back underway and putting in the service stuff to kind of make that work if we can ever get the full dealer experience like it was. I'd have to say my favorite one still had to be Lincoln Creek, because I
Lincoln
actually
Creek.
got the things underway and was doing stuff. What?
What series was that?
Or no,
Lincoln
that
Creek,
was
the last RP before we got done with 19.
Or Flint Hills.
Flint Hills.
Flint.
No, Lincoln Creek.
Lincoln Creek.
Oh,
Yeah, we did Lincoln Creek for a little bit.
The intro you made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't a very long roleplay series.
I'd say
Nebraska.
It was the
It's called
most
Nebraska.
consistent. Yeah, Nebraska. Well, Nebraska
Creek,
series was
Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Yeah.
Lincoln
Nebraska
Creek was
Lands was the
Yorktown.
other one. We did 2 Nebraska series.
That was the one before Flint Hills.
Yeah.
I just turned this way because my neck was hurt.
Okay. Yeah, I think that intro for Lincoln Creek was really, really cool. Let practically everyone, except for maybe Austin, I don't remember,
Yeah, I didn't really make too many videos in that series.
Yeah.
I was going along with other stuff at
but
the time.
practically everyone used that intro. It was cool.
One thing I've noticed is there's a lot of kids. So you think, okay, like I've been doing this for 5 years. Some of the younger kids that are interested in farming, they're going to come up and they're going to keep doing YouTube. And you're going to get new people coming into YouTube. I've noticed all these. I shouldn't say kids, just younger people. Instead of starting YouTube channels anymore, there's tons of Instagram accounts where they just take screenshots.
Yeah.
There's so many farm sim Instagram accounts now. It's crazy.
TikToks too.
TikTok's probably too. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
It's
that's
not
very
even.
cool.
I thought for sure they'd come to YouTube and start making a lot of YouTube channels, but they're all on Instagram. And they take really good photos and stuff. It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very photogenic game,
Yeah.
and it's only good
Shaders.
for Farm Sim as well, right? The more promotion that Farm Sim gets, the more stuff that they can hopefully bring to us so we can keep doing.
Well, it feels like it's already grown just from 19 to 22.
Oh, it has.
I mean, just the amount of, even on my channel being a lot smaller, I can just tell in the comment section, there's a lot of new people from console on FS22. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The bet. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Rock,
You
paper,
start.
scissors.
Got him.
Didn't even say that.
Freaking got him, dude.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, now I'm slightly not remembering what I'm saying. Dang it. I had to do something with a game. I don't remember. Go ahead.
What was I going to say?
Oh boy.
Gosh. No,
Now this is just spiraling out of control. No one knows what they're talking about anymore.
what did you say last?
Talking about FS22. Oh, it's
Oh. I
New
remember.
kids,
I
console.
remember.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, I know what I'm saying.
Okay. Anyways, I was gonna say it's crazy too how with the game and all the mods and stuff like that, you're bringing in tons of people that aren't even interested in farming. Like there's one guy at work, one of his kids and stuff. He's not even interested in farming, but one of the neighbor kids and stuff like that, he's playing Farming Simulator and stuff. And the kid's just a city kid in a town of 100,000 people just playing Farming Simulator. So it's crazy how we're bringing all these younger kids into a farming game through all the mods and stuff too. Heck, some people see Rich Redneck with ATVs and then they just buy Farm Sim because of that and get interested in it. That's what I think is pretty cool.
And it actually kind of tethers into exactly what you just said. I mean, the other thing that I notice is it's very apparent. I mean, you are, of course, the smallest channel of us right now, King. I'm the next smallest, and it just kind of goes, I believe you, and then you. But if you look at the overall spectrum of it, in reality, all of our names we're some of the top known people, even though statistically it doesn't really show. Because if however many hundreds of thousands of people watch you, then they've at least heard of King. They've at least heard of Jake. Our names are usually bigger than the statistics show. But as long as we're enjoying what we're doing on that, those results will come over a certain period of time.
That's what I've thought is like the craziest thing, because you look at YouTube today and a 1 million subscriber channel like, your channel, Grant. It's crazy how in the world of YouTube that channel is still small. Yeah. Dude, you've put so many hours, you know what I mean, and time and energy into your channel, and you've grown it, and it's big. Like anybody looks at it, 1 million subscribers, over 1 million subscribers is big, but it's crazy because when I came along, when Jake pulled me into it, well, actually, Buck, you were the first one because we did the camping video together.
Oh, that's right.
And that was like late spring or summer or something like that. And then Jake and I hanging out for the longest time. And finally I came in and him and I had to have a conversation because I was like, I don't really know what to do. Right. And it was weird because as soon as I just started getting into a role with you guys and doing Flint Hills, we had to have the conversation because you were like, well, when my channel was, small, when Grant's channel was small, when Buck's channel was small, and he's like, well, you've like skipped all those steps. Like you just like my channel is still small, like even today, but I have to start doing things like it's bigger just from doing videos with you guys. It's crazy.
And I'll even say this much. I might be a bigger channel than say you, but here's the difference between my channel and yours. You guys all had a depth when you guys were starting. You had 300 some people between your friends and college friends of just what you gained.
Oh, a good portion of those were probably just myself. I'll be honest.
Okay.
300 separate accounts, we got to make it happen.
But you had videos. But in the overall, okay, go ahead. What are you going to say?
No.
Okay. Well, either way, shush it. But when we all started, you guys had depths of videos. You had something set up. You went to film school, for crying out loud. So you had, even if it was something back in high school you did 5 years ago, you still had like 20, 30 videos in your belt. King, I would assume you were probably somewhat the same way. You'd been doing a few things, kind of set up.
I was tinkering though. Like, and none of it was farm sim. That's what's crazy. And a lot of it too was like not like barely an edit of like Call of Duty or like random stuff
just
from Twitch. Yeah.
Stuff like that.
And clips from like Twitch.
And I remember specifically your channel mainly at that time was still all mod stuff, like the kid steer and all that. So you guys at least all had, and of course we know this guy was rocking along at that point, but we'll get back to that. And here I sit. You especially told me when we were getting this going, like you should probably consider starting to build a channel. Because for the longest time, we ran as a tag team duo, as you were the public face, I was the guy that did a lot of the background work. I've always been the background guy. I had nothing. I mean, I did, but I had nothing. So when I actually started working with you, and then you kind of obviously pushed the envelope to get the thing going up and running, was I got the whole thing up. I still ran under my original name, which was Mr. Boomnastic. We all have fun with that one, Mr. Lova Lova, but we're having fun. And
every time you come in a Discord, it's the
copyright. But it was a big push to, if you really want to do this or you really want to be a part of this and make it work to a point where you could either take this on as a career or a side hustle or something, you have to get into it. I was still running that really old PC that I'm surprised even ran GTA back in the time when I met you, and I had nothing. I had no videos. I had no nothing. Austin recorded my first video.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was the greatest part. And we got it. We got the whole thing down, but it's like, you guys had something to at least when people start saying, go get to this guy, there was something to at least watch. That's where I was always in the running game. I had no idea how to edit. I had no idea how to film. I just played the game.
Can I say probably my favorite sentence whenever someone asks how do they become a YouTuber, how do they start?
Oh, geez. Yeah.
I've said this so many times in so many podcasts, but here you go, Buck, just for you. Your first 100 videos are gonna suck.
Oh, was I supposed to say that at the same time?
Just do them. That's the advice for anyone. Just do them, because how else are you gonna learn, right?
It's been infectious in my Discord now, by the way. Thanks.
Can we just accept the fact that I think I only have like 125?
Well, then you're 25 into the really good videos. Congratulations. But now, after that 100 mark, you start to feel like you know what you're doing. Like you know how to talk, you know how to edit.
Or you just don't.
Or you just don't and you wing it. And, you know, no one ever questions it.
Whoa. I saw you pointed at me. That's not fair.
Look on the bright side.
Oh, slow. Sim over there.
Anyways. What?
Well, we're getting feisty up in this joint.
Okay, so let's talk about farming simulator the game. What do you guys think could be a big addition for farming simulator 2025 or 2024? What do you think should happen in your opinion if you were the CEO of the company?
Already compared to 20, like the jump from 19 to 22, you mean like the next game?
I'm saying if you're working creating 2025 right now, what would you do? What would you implement in the game to take it to a new level?
I think one thing is improved husbandry. You have to implement breeding for one. I think that's a must. There's so many people interested in that.
Well, it's like it's technically a thing already. Just
Modded.
Baby animals is what you mean.
Yes.
Specifically.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to show the
calves,
breeding
lambs,
process. If that's what you're worried about as a company, trying to keep your game playable for most people, then don't show the breeding process, but allow us to have baby calves, horses. I mean, that's a whole aspect that's missed.
Yeah, calves. Yeah, calves. Baby cows. I never even thought about that. Calves.
Yeah.
Well, because that was the big talk, right? When Giants announced specifically, cuter animals. What was the first thing everyone thought of, right? We were thinking calves, lambs. We were thinking baby animals.
That'd be cool.
But I we talked about that already too. Like you can already see exactly what they meant by that now, just all the new animations and whatnot. I would say just further improving animations of animals. I mean, they've already done a lot. I would say just the realism that they've already brought with like the cows licking their noses and just that kind of stuff. But furthering on that, I would say, especially and continuing on animals, barns. If you got barns, actually having them come into like the milkers and stuff, or be able to do maybe stuff like that, like be able to, if you don't milk your cows, then you get dinged or something. I don't know, something like that.
And kind of even going with that, something of the detail for animals would be a project that you kind of pitched an idea to me the other day. Even just improving something on the nature of how you actually have to do things certain games, if you eat, heck, even something like Call of Duty or Rainbow Six, if you pick up a certain health pack versus another, one gives you more health than the other. So something, instead of being able to, you have to take your implement to a service station or like the service trucks that I had, you just drive the truck out there and it just instantly fixes it. Something like a grease gun, or for animals, for sake of cattle, milk cows, the little drip cup, the little dip cup for sanitization. But something of that nature, heck, even if it doesn't work sometimes, just that visual aspect of I actually have to do this step, especially if you're working that said field, it would be better. I mean, it's service animation. You have to walk up to the side of a combine and not even attach the grease hose to the little zert on there. You just do it, and it'll maybe repair it like 25%. It'll just something to prep for harvest. You actually have to walk behind, do something with the belt system, change it. Interactive controls. That was a huge boost in 19.
Right.
Yep.
I think I have to say one thing that I push so heavily that Giants is going to get tired of me saying it to them. Natural disasters.
Yes, good
Please
weather.
Give us drought, rainstorms, snowstorms. Tornadoes would be cool, but you don't have to go that crazy because the weather is half of farming.
Yeah.
And we don't have to deal with it right now.
Well, yes and no.
Well, Huh?
I think SES has probably hurt you too.
You think?
I think they get probably the one thing they get underappreciated on that they did really, really right is just the modding, letting it be pretty open. It's created so many network effects for the game to where it's such an established brand now.
Oh, it's absolutely insane. I mean, it's about the same networking level as content creators themselves. I mean, it's
FSN is huge.
FSN.
Yeah.
Do you ever think in a base game would it be a crime to add an excavator and allow digging and bring the construction side? Would you do it as a owner of the game? Let's say
they'd be competing because there's already construction simulator, right? So
But
I don't know if there's something going on with that too.
I think it'd be there, but its purpose wouldn't be construction like fully, right? It'd be like, oh, you need to dig out you want to dig out your pond, you want to dig out a ditch, or
build a terrace.
Yeah, you want to build a terrace, or even, expanding on the build mode we have.
Yeah.
You want to place down a building and it says, all right, we need to flatten the terrain, and it just does it.
Mm-hmm. What
if you had to stake it out, flatten the terrain, and now you can place the building, right? I think it would be implementing just another step into those things that we kind of already have that it would benefit from. It wouldn't go towards construction specifically. Modders can make it so, which is I think the way it would go.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'd be focused on trying to take it away from construction sims or anything like that.
I think the thing we can all agree on is we would love dynamic ground. Like when you pull out into a field, it's muddy and you get stuck possibly.
Right.
Yeah, I know that one was heavily like a heavy topic, but I agree.
Or a simple one, your dog getting in the back of your truck. That was teased in the FS19 trailer, and we still haven't got it.
Which they won't get in your truck, but they will follow you across almost the entire map.
We did have over half the map.
Well,
when we tested it.
We were recording you built a farm. It was one of the first videos we did.
Shows up.
Yeah, we were just standing there talking. Next thing I know, there's a dog there, and Grant starts laughing his butt off. It's like, whose dog is this? And it was mine. He happened to follow me all the way to the south of the map. I think GPS, base game.
Yeah.
A big one. Not only that, but GPS kind of being designed into the monitor and the tractor as well. Really focusing on that first-person in-cab experience. Right, monitors being showing your GPS line, your tractor, being able to see the changes of like if you adjust your equipment tool width, like seeing those numbers change, all those sort of things would be very, very cool to have.
Expanding from now I got multiple because expanding from that. 19, we already started seeing it where modders are starting to put in custom screens into the tractors. And that's where I was talking to you, Bug, was like, okay, how can we now take that a step further? And, you got GPS or you got whatever, mini map. It'd be cool to get the mini map on one of those second, screens just as a start where it's something where you can get a little more interactive maybe with the screens in the cabs because it's already being done. I mean, you already got motion and movement, at least with Simple IC at 19.
Well, I still like the fact that they made the guy like actually move inside the cab now. Like you can see him. He'll like move his head side to side, look up and down. I mean, heck, even if they got to the point where if you accidentally leave the radio on and the truck stopped for too long, he starts doing the whole GTA thing where he starts rocking outside the car, banging the steering wheel. That'd be kind of fun.
I think improving service too. Kind of like the natural disaster sort of deal, but like it's like a randomized thing. Like you lost a lug nut, or I don't know.
Yeah.
You name it. Random stuff, expanding from what you said, but
Ooh. And a tweak to the current farm sim. Next time, decrease the rocks by about 75%. And that would be
it's a bit overdone right now.
There'll be a mod called Less Rocks. It's gonna happen.
Only 0.75 kilobytes.
I wish they allowed you to mod character. Clothing. That'd be good. I mean, they brought character customization, which was good, but it'd be dang cool if you could mod it.
Another thing adding on to that is character animation, like
gestures.
Yeah, gestures.
About that in 19.
That'd be
It'd
sweet.
Be good for role play.
Yeah, 100%.
We all just said yeah in sync, dude. That was something.
Why do I just picture it could be something of like a homeowner style, and all of a sudden you see King over there just.
You gotta get the what is it where you subscribe to their subscription to get the Fortnite,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you can get all the animations.
I'm surprised they don't release a character customization DLC pack. Like, just add like 100 new clothing items at least, since we
I
can't
bet
mod
that
it.
there's got to be something that they're going to be doing. The amount of potential that they've already put into it. I mean, I was really sad the fact that I couldn't get my Black Wilson cap for the sake of my old outfit.
Well, we know for a fact that for the next 2 years, we will be getting a pretty significant amount of additional content in their season 1, season 2 pass. We don't know if there's a 3. I'm going to go ahead and assume there is, though I don't know. So we're actually got to be getting close to the first one coming out.
Yeah, pretty
It's
close.
supposed to come out first quarter. So they were talking end of December at earliest, but they thought really like January, February. So it's got to be pretty soon that first DLC piece is coming. I don't know what it is, but what would you like to see as a DLC? I know character customization.
Something that we can't mod. That's probably most important. Character customization, since we can't mod it, might as well add a bunch of new clothing pieces. I don't really care to see 10 different machines come in there, because somebody could easily mod that.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, it's-
Why'd you point at me
It's
for that?
insane.
Oh no, I was just a horse back there.
Oh, okay.
It's the same one's already been released though. I mean, I'm already looking at my folder too, and it's like 257. That's like not
Yeah.
even tapping into fully. So I can agree. Stuff that we can't mod yet. Bring more to it.
I know exactly what I'd want to see.
Wilson hat.
Well, that too. I would love to see that. But another one thing, and it kind of comes back to that homeowner style thing that I was doing. The more materials, sand, rock, gravel, like the whole road salt and all that stuff, it'd be really cool to see something where you could actually have, and that's another one, utility tractors. Like we already got the little Landy and the Fent, but not like orchard style. We're talking case, tiny ones, the 1R, the 3Rs, all those little, the T4s. It's like those small tractors, even though they're basically useless in the scale of some of these maps, it's houses around the projects around the house. Let's get my brain going up here. Late night people. But something of that nature, like how I did the mulching bed in front of my house.
I was just going to mention the mulching because that was a phenomenal idea, but I agree. Expand on that because that just brings more for us to do with roleplay, especially.
Mm-hmm. And I know Giants is very interested in the roleplay stuff. It's one thing that some of their employees have talked about before.
Yeah.
That some of their favorite content that they've seen spawn during 19 was the roleplay stuff. They talked about that specifically.
Yeah.
So I feel like it could be something that they would be willing to put more focus on. Is providing you that opportunity to, I mean, like you said earlier, we draw in people that aren't interested in farming.
Yeah.
Right? Farm Sim's a good medium for just sim. Like whatever you want to sim, you can do it with mods.
Yeah.
And I mean, you guys show me the way on that, but just the evergreen, just the more evergreen content, that's what's doing it, really.
If there's one thing I can also at least put out that's definitely apparent, and it's very unique to our group compared to anybody else under the sun, everybody's perspective of how they technically want to play the game, how it is laid out. Each person, you can tell, I mean, they all kind of fit together under one umbrella, but we know you, King, as the hardcore, absolute farmer of the dairy cattle, and that's your specialty. Jake, you're more of a kind of almost like the trucker. You kind of like to be the going around kind of style. Austin, you're more of a upper class.
That's a good way to explain it. There you go. I like lifted trucks. I like quads. What can you say? Yeah.
What are you? Grant's you've kind of changed. You went from the big lifted truck dealer kind of back. You do. You're an all around. And you have toned down, but even more the farming stuff. You've kind of gotten back into the mid range, something around.
No, I'd say high range. He run X9s, everything. All of
Let's
it.
start a 60s farm series and go from scratch. Has 3 40/20s. That's realistic. We did only have a couple $1,000s, though. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
We do manage
We're
the money.
sticking to it.
Except for Chad Eldridge and the cow, but no one knows about that.
Yeah, chats.
Chet
What's the
Elders.
craziest thing away from farming that somebody's done with Farming Simulator? Like even a video. I think probably Dukes of Hazzard, but there's got to be another video we did that's even further away. Because I get comments all the time that's like, dude, this is Farming Simulator. You're supposed to be farming.
Clutch and gold mining. Gold mining and
my-
farm sim.
God,
I speedran Farm Sim.
did what?
I speedran the Farm Sim tutorials.
Oh, boy.
I did a whole video on that. Apparently, there's no world record, and I guess I currently hold the world record.
Well, hey,
speed
that's
running.
my title. Fantastic.
I already have that in my title.
Fantastic. I can steal your thumbnail, too.
Oh, I'm sure you would.
Some of the racing stuff we did,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was pretty far out.
I mean, we do.
Scary camping. Scary camping.
yeah,
That was a good
That's
one.
it. That's the one.
I can also say that we have definitely made sure, mainly me, because I'm Mr. Stuck Up over here, we keep things seasonal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Haunted camping only is during Spooktober.
It's September and I want to record Scary Camping, and Buck's like, nope, we gotta wait.
And then,
Like September 29th, I'm just like,
and
no.
then it's the last week of October, and we go, uh-oh,
Yeah, haven't
we
recorded
haven't
yet.
recorded.
Well, technically Spooktober ain't until the 31st, so we did have a break.
No, those are some of my favorite videos that we do. I
Yeah.
really, really love those.
If we can plan to get together.
Oh boy.
Scheduling is a conversation in itself. But yeah, I don't know. We do so many different things in Farm Sim. It's hard to narrow it down to one. I mean, some of the things that I'm known for that are just out there, I try to break the game with various things. Like I'll plow a field with 10 Prius on tracks.
Or put 100 of them in a
Or put
pond.
100. I was talking to Austin one day. Had no video idea at all. Didn't know what I was going to do. I said to him as a joke, what if I just dug a hole and then just put a bunch of Prius in them? As a joke.
I don't remember what I said to that. I something along the lines
You
of,
wrote it off. You were like, yeah, whatever. That,
Yeah,
you
whatever.
know, you were like, yeah, it's funny.
it was
but-
like, yeah, but I don't think
You
it's
should
gonna
not
lie.
replicate that in 22 with the new mods and just take the Volvo and just start digging a hole for a 15-minute video. And then the next video, just have a bunch of Prius.
but yeah,
King,
thank you.
Genius.
He's gonna write that one down in his
I'm
notes.
putting that in the notes. But anyways, that video ended up, it's one of my top viewed videos ever. And all I did was put Prius in a hole.
You bring out the word Prius, and that in its own is already going to bring in views.
You're right. What's the most famous vehicle in Farm Sim?
Ooh.
I was just going to mention, when did you ever think Karen would be such a thing?
Oh man. Okay. How about
I was
Farming
wrong.
Simulator characters in our videos? Mr. Chow. Mr. Chow is a good one.
Yeah.
Mr. Buttlicker.
Long, yeah.
Oh yeah, you could have brought Chow along. Why didn't you?
Yeah. Chow.
Did Chow not want to come today?
Chow didn't want to come.
He was too busy selling the frozen chickens.
So, Mr. Chow is a very recognizable character, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Then
Very.
from there, it goes.
Karen?
Karen is maybe the next.
Karen.
Most
Definitely
recognizable.
Karen.
I wouldn't really know if it's recognizable, but I made.
Oh no, it's
very apparent-
recognizable.
No, I'm saying on my end. Daryl was a very apparent character in the Lincoln Creek stuff. I always said I had to go talk to Daryl.
Daryl.
Yep.
Oh, I always have a one-off character named Frank.
Frank,
Video.
we mentioned Frank a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Sometimes there's 4 of them at one table. That happens.
If we need a name
Hey,
for a
look,
guy, it's
Dave,
Frank.
Dave, and Dave.
Bill seems to be the only name I can think of for whatever reason when I'm recording.
We got Karen's mom.
Oh,
Oh man.
Karen's.
I went to the depths of Karen's mom and Karen's grandma, and then we brought Karen's dad into 22.
Oh, we did. I didn't even
boy.
realize that.
I didn't even know that was a
yeah,
thing.
we did. We brought
Oh, it was very
unintentionally.
minor. I didn't put a voice to it. I just
Yeah.
Oh,
I
boy.
just decided it for whatever reason to bring it. back
Well,
to that video.
all right, we were trucking and we had this big old wheel loader, and at one point we get rear-ended by a car, and we had to take the wheel loader off, but he wouldn't back up, so we ran him over.
Sounds about right.
Aaron's dead. I don't know. Are there any others? I don't even.
There's Mr. Buttlicker. Mr. Buttlicker.
What show was that out of? Buttlicker. I swear that was out
William
of the show.
M. Butler.
Yeah, yes. The Office. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Office. I forgot that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when we make our videos, is there like a outside influence that like causes you to do things a certain way? Like, what is the biggest influence to your videos?
Well, spur off of that, if can't think of anything else, like what are your guys' favorite channels to watch as inspired? Like
Andrew Kamada.
Ooh.
Very cool YouTuber. Just what he does and the style that he does it. Like, it's really cool to see him just do the most random crap, usually involving equipment or side by sides or whatever else. But he makes some cool stuff.
Now, are we talking more like just like farm sim stuff or just overall?
Just
Stuff that
what
inspires
what
you.
inspires you?
I'd have to say there's actually two of them. One of which is Welker Farms and all of them out there, mainly for the aspect of the fact that they show all the shop work.
yeah.
They're very, very adamant about that. They really like to do it and all the hands-on stuff that they really can do. You can almost get a feel. It's like, okay, so this is how you kind of do that. Zach with Millennial Farmers is the exact same way. Kind of use that.
Larson Farms too.
Yes.
They're big time in the shop.
And another one is, but he kind of inspired like how I'm not gonna lie, if you could basically look at the entire of the videos, it's almost not really a copy paste, but it is. And that's Square. Square is the big inspiration behind the landscaping and homeowner series that I've done, but with the fact that I always tell people, if you can learn how to mod and do the videos, and I was lucky that I learned how to do the mods first, you are a dual threat. Because if you know how to do the mods just right, and you can use that in part of your videos, you can make a lot of things happen. And it really has helped.
I watch a bunch of farming guys. Yeah, I watch all the farming guys.
Have
That's
you
it.
always,
That's
or is
it.
it transferred?
I've always watched them. Yeah. I enjoy it. I love it. So,
I see him as a massive tractor time with Tim kind of guy.
time with Tim.
How about you, Jake?
Man, that's rough. I think one is Jeff Favignano.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think he's a big inspiration into just the content I want to do. He's actually he's who made me want to become a YouTuber. One of many, I suppose. Another one, probably anybody in like the Vanos group. That was the prime time that I watched YouTube. Was Vanos Gaming, Wildcats.
Delirious.
Yeah, anyone in that group. Vanos, like specifically, extremely highly edited videos that are very, very, very entertaining.
Their energy is what I always really thought.
Their
we could
energy,
shoot
their
for in
comedy
video.
together. They
Yes.
they mesh together really, really well. I think that's one thing for sure. Their comedy. I really try to think of that in the videos. I like, if we can get a video going where we're cracking jokes and everybody's laughing, having a good time. If we're laughing, having a good time, then so should everyone else, right?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, like before every Karen video.
Oh, we're at least laughing and think of ideas for at least an hour to 45 minutes. At least.
Because we're like done and set up and ready, and it'll straight up be like we're ready.
We'll just be doing parkour on the top of the houses.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just... Yeah.
like that should be the video, but it's not, and then we still somehow make it. I don't know.
And then we're like, okay, yeah, it's already like almost midnight. We better get to recording at some point here. Yeah, it's got to be done.
5 hours, guys.
Yeah, we better get this one done. Yep.
Another one that's definitely apparent, and you can back me up on this one, is I'm a very heavy guy in the matters if I can remember a lot of lines. So when it comes to movies and script stuff, I will bring that inspiration in to some of the characters that I'll play. Like our latest 60s video, I'm running a car dealership. Who do I use? Bernie Mac from Transformers as Uncle Bobby B. And I'm over here just screaming trying to sell this dude a truck, but I'm acting like this some Bolivian guy off of a Michael Bay movie. So I feel that's one of the things I love to improv.
Yeah.
Make things up as I go.
Yep. Well, that's how 90% of YouTube videos go, is it not? Especially our
When
videos?
did we ever really script much of anything?
Not really.
Let's ask our first couple videos. Jake.
We kind of the first few videos Buck and I don't want to talk about it. That was heavily scripted. But even in County Line, like we would sit down and probably for 30 minutes at least before we'd even click record, we'd be like, okay, what are we doing? We're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing this. And really it was like a bulletin itinerary. maybe it was like a what thumbnail, what title, that's pretty common.
It was more of a rough idea and like a suggestion versus like a full-on script.
Yeah.
I think a script is a bit of a hard word to use for that.
Flint Hills, we were doing that though too.
Right.
Because that kind of played into why it is we spent, 300 hours a piece on our farm on Flint Hills series. It was kind of the same. So we kind of lay it out bulletin point.
Yeah, I think that helps out the videos a lot. I remember it's something we did back in County Line and pretty much have carried through for most of our content.
Most of it.
So I do have some questions pulled up here. We did ask our various communities if they wanted to ask any questions to us in this podcast. And Bradley wants to know how we met each other. Was it for videos purpose or real life? We know we've talked about this before, but should we give it the breakdown, how we met each other?
I mean, I guess we can.
The 30-second spiel?
All right, in order, go.
I met you and I was terrified, but then I found out you were actually a really cool dude.
Okay, and then
Next.
and then he messaged you, and then we met you, and we were scared. You complimented my voice the first time we talked. Next thing I knew,
Added on.
I knew him.
added on.
I knew
you,
Buck.
I added you.
I somehow came here.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
I invited you because I knew you had potential in the matters of mods, and we worked together on Facebook and Expendables.
And now I just don't mod.
And
No, I make YouTube videos.
Then my
Now I
admin
do your
Luke
mods for
invited or introduced me to King, and we started chatting. At first, it was about 5M stuff, and it was like kind of the awkward, casual, like, hey, if you ever need anything,
Yeah.
That's it. That's the story. No, we didn't know
Pretty
each
much
other
it.
in real life. This is the first time we've ever been in the
I
same room.
literally just met Grant tonight.
Yeah.
yeah.
I met Grant Sunday.
Met Austin in person and Buck for that matter. Buck for the first time yesterday, and Austin for the first time on Monday. And this is the first time you and I met each other in person as well on
Right.
Monday.
On Monday.
It's really weird.
Singing Tommy Boy on the way in here was a great thing for me and King. It was a great one. Go check that TikTok out.
We had a moment.
We had a very special moment. You're going to have to see that clip. That was hilarious.
Might I just say that it's really weird meeting people that you've talked to for like the past 2 to 3 years, meeting them in person. It's not like weird, but it's like you already know them, but
It's not weird, but it's weird.
yeah.
You know why it's weird? It's because it's not weird.
That's okay.
You feel
Good.
like you should be meeting
That
a
works.
stranger, but you've talked to them so much that you just know them, and immediately you start having like conversation just as if we're on Discord.
The only other
it-
thing that I can think. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it literally just meeting you guys. It was literally the same as what it's been for the last over a year now.
The only thing is you can do this now. No, that
Also, if you get miffed at someone, you can't just like get out of the Discord call. No, you're here.
all right. I'm going.
You-
Yeah, I actually made fun of Austin for that the first night. So he drives for 18 hours. He gets here. He picks up a pizza, comes to my place,
Oh,
and
please tell me the first thing you said is, all right, you can't mute your mic or headset now.
That's pretty much the first
actually,
thing.
First thing I said was to go back to Canada.
Yeah. Let me just pack up and drive another 15 hours again.
Not long after that, we're sitting there, and it was kind of an awkward, like quiet hangout, but we were
little
both
bit.
tired. It was past
Yeah.
my bedtime. He drove 18 hours, and so we're sitting there in silence, and I just go, well, you can't really deafen and mute now, can you? And we
Not
joked
quite.
about it. It's like, oh, the equivalent of that would be turning around and walking out the door without saying anything.
So I did.
So
What's
he
the
did.
difference between that and you leaving a Discord call? Because usually you just go deaf and all of a sudden you just leave the room.
Yeah, it's like a behind the scenes joke. He
Yeah.
constantly will join a call, be like, what's up? And then deafen and never talk to you the rest of the night.
Exactly.
Is Jake here? No, he literally just stepped aside to go to the bathroom or something.
Yeah, just
Okay,
mute. Go.
And literally all the rest of the people in my community are like, good chat.
Yeah. That's about how it goes.
Our mute button.
I mean, I could get up and press it, I guess. So Ryan wants to know. Actually, we'll go with Eric first. What are your top 3 favorite tractor brands? Who wants to go? Okay, Buck.
All right. I'm a big John Deere guy. I also love every now and then. I'm starting to fall a little bit more onto McCormick and McCormick Farmall. Those old little reds. And I had to say one more. You know what? Why not just finish off the rest of the trilogy? New Holland's got a couple of them I really enjoy.
Okay, Grant.
John Deere, Case AH, International too. Cat, not Cat.
Challenger.
Challenger. I always call him Cat. Challenger.
Okay.
Top 3.
Austin.
John Deere, Kubota, and Case.
I'm surprised you didn't say
Kubota.
I was.
Yeah.
It was back and forth.
I like Kubota.
thought about it.
All right, King.
You have to do 3.
Are you gonna get flamed?
Might.
Always 100% get inflamed.
Case, John Deere. John Deere's always first for me.
He looks like
You
an
had to say that
Oliver
to cover
guy.
his tracks.
I am kind of all over, but I mean, it's like those two that you pretty much always see on my channel.
Yeah.
For me, it's John Deere, Kubota, and Case. We're the same.
Yeah.
I love Kubota. I'll stand
Kubota's
by Kubota
great.
all day, every day.
Kubota's got some good stuff. Well, no, they don't make tractors, so.
Yeah, they do.
No,
gotta admit-
no, the one I was thinking of
Okay,
doesn't.
okay.
Well, they do, but they're not tractors. They're special. Can
Well,
I swap? Can
okay.
I swap New Holland for Vermeer?
Yeah, you
I
can.
like
I'll allow it. Equipment. We'll go general equipment then. Yeah. So if that's the case, general equipment. Is there any changes?
Not really.
I'd like to swap New Holland for Vermeer.
Okay, we noted. All right, the council approves. Moving on.
Motion passed.
So we've got. Let's
You
see.
can be on the council, but we do not grant you the rank of
Back
master.
to Ryan. Will you guys bring back the roleplay series? Do we have any plans to do a roleplay series in 22,
I
or
hope
have
we
we
do.
moved on beyond it?
Waiting for maps. That's what maps and
That's
mods.
true.
That's a big one.
I've really been enjoying the new Deer Creek though. It's weird because like I love my Wisconsin maps, man. I always have. I love the hills and everything. And it doesn't have to be necessarily Wisconsin map, just hills. That's why I loved Elm Creek when it came out. Deer Creek's not too bad though. It is optimized. It's pretty flat though.
I'm not gonna lie. I'll go ahead.
I was gonna say I think we got to see how MRG's new map is gonna turn out to be.
It's in beta testing right now.
It is.
It is. I'm excited for that one too.
I'm just still basically content with Elm Creek. I'm kind of sold on it.
There are things about that map that I do like.
They
I mean,
really
if
hit
we
home.
compare it to Ravenport, it's not even a joke. I mean, no story. It's better. You know,
The interstate. That's cool. That'd be good for
That's-
roleplay.
the interstate.
It's
you
proven
know.
us well.
And they actually have the 2 towns.
Well, they do, yeah.
Creek. Like they listen to that. 2 towns. I think that's huge.
Dude,
I don't know why I'm so stuck on it, but
They definitely, that jump over the railroad track, I feel like they definitely put that in for fun.
oh yeah.
Oh, they put it in specifically
There's no-
for Buck.
Hey, literally,
Maybe
not even
with
2
the
weeks
general
later.
lead.
2 weeks later, after that map came out, I got sent a screenshot. Somebody already changed the roadside down there to just send it. They changed the bridge ahead to just send it. I'm like, yep, that's all right.
Here's a good question. I might change the phrasing a little bit, but it's from Farmer King. He says, how did you get into recording and making YouTube videos? Essentially, what were your first videos? What made you want to get into it, and how? Like, what did you do? What did you make? But we're starting with you again.
Buck?
He dragged me into this. I had no choice.
All right, we're not doing this Meeseek style from Rick and Morty. Oh, he dragged me. He dragged me in this.
I'll do it like this, all right? I got into the modding. That mainly started how I wanted to do this because, again, you were the face of our group on the public side, and I was the guy behind the works, and I wanted to try and make that where I put what I can do to the test, and then I had to learn to do the videos. So it was a big learning curve process, and then you wanted to really get the game going with getting me my current PC, and next thing you know, we start up in the Nebraska lands. I'm 3 weeks late, but who cares? Let's get this show on the road, and we just kept going from there. It's just kind of been a ever-growing process.
I started in 2014 with a buddy, actually. He lived down the street from me. But anyways, I saw what the Offspring Gaming at the time, this was back in 2014, FS 2015, he was doing. I was like, hey, that's kind of neat. That'd be fun to make videos like him. He was just hauling stuff around town with diesel trucks. And I was like, oh, I can do that. So that's how I started the channel originally.
Okay. Austin?
How I got into YouTube is really just watching him. Just, yeah.
Aww.
Hey, that's who I really started getting into when I was watching YouTube, and I saw Farming Simulator, and yeah.
Very cool. King.
What was the question? I don't know. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, how'd you get into recording and making YouTube videos? What were your first videos, sort of deal?
Well, I mean, a lot of people know I started with Twitch, so the YouTube side of it was kind of weird. So the first one was Buck, and then you, because I never recorded Roleplay before that or done any of that. So honestly, just hanging out with friends and just kind of role-playing it out. I mean, so you guys.
All right. Well, I started way back in like 2011. Actually, I've had so many different channels, doing so many different things. 2011 was one channel that I won't name because I can't get in it to privatize videos. Maybe we'll let people know that someday, but not for a while.
If it makes you feel any older, I was 6.
Oh, don't say that. Okay.
You were 6? 2011?
I was in like first grade in 2009.
That hurts.
When were you born?
02.
You were
Oh,
you were in what grade in
okay.
2009?
First grade. I know. I would have been about. There's a reason I got a C.
You old king. I don't know what to tell you. You're old.
Between the lines, bud.
As the oldest in the room, I'm not scared.
So originally for roleplay, we had us, kind of younger kids and stuff. Or not kids, younger.
No, we
teenagers
were
and
kids.
stuff. And then we had Clutch, which we called Dad.
Yeah.
Clutch, and then we
Yeah,
Stevio, we
Grandpa
called-
Stevie.
Grandpa.
Stevio.
Yep.
And we should have brought Stevio and Clutch here too.
Would've been
Stevio was in.
good.
Clutch is a long drive too. Canadian man
Oh yeah. That's
You
right.
know,
as well.
Clutch is out there on the other side of the state with me.
I forgot that Stevio is
Stevio.
closer
You could have
now.
rode with Stevio.
Yeah.
No, Stevie had to ride with me.
Or Stevio.
He'd meet up with me, and then we just tag team.
Yeah.
I get to ride with Grandpa.
Yeah, I had
Sorry, Stevio.
a number of channels. One of them, I just did bass boosted music. It was like the first channel to do any good. Some of them got like
Not gonna
tens of
lie, it's
thousands
pretty
of views.
fire.
I was gonna say you said that one was like one of your biggest channels.
Yeah, it was. And then the Formal Pickle. I mean, I've been trying to make videos on that channel since I made it in 2013. Started making videos in 2015. So I've been working at this for over 10 years. Yeah,
Close. Coming up. Oh, yeah.
2011. So it's over 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I got started.
Maybe a segment. If the question doesn't come up, maybe we could all say how we actually got our names.
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Buck, you're first.
How about we switch it up? How about we switch it up?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. You all ready for this? Because I literally have it memorized.
Oh, dude.
That's the only reason I asked.
Time for the feel.
Just push the button.
I have a button on my Go Xbox for this very thing, by the way. So, back in the day, I was playing a game called Need for Speed The Run with a buddy of mine named Blake the Bear 7. I was driving a green car and we were racing each other. I wrecked him off the edge of a cliff. As he plummeted to his death, he screamed at me, "Mr. Pickle!" And I thought to myself, Mr. Pickle? So, a pickle wearing a suit? Well, that's a good channel name. And thus, the Formal Pickle was born. Next.
I don't know. I came up with it for Twitch. Nothing crazy. I don't know.
Next.
My name is Austin. I was a farmer. Simple as that.
I remember when you made your name. You were talking about changing it at one point.
Yeah, I
His
didn't.
name's not Farmer.
No, it's not.
Did we name?
No, what? I'm not saying my last name. Dox me.
So the squad, it was 3 of us originally, so we were just like the squad, and I've just kept the name the squad, even though it's only me, and we record with a bunch of people though.
Mostly multiplayer content though. So
exactly, it works out good.
The original name, Mr. Boomnastic, actually surfaced from the game World of Tanks. My fat fingers, because, you know, when you have Flintstone sausage hands, you try typing Mr. Boombastic, and your finger, instead of hitting B, hits N, and then you're stuck with the name unless you want to pay $20 to change your name. Well, I was a broke, sad little child, so that wasn't a thing. Thus, that name was born. And then we did the video camping on, what was that? Pinewood Farms. We did Pinewood Farms, and I basically got told I don't own a camper, and next thing you know, the rental man was born.
There you go. Well, guys, is there anything else that we haven't touched on that you'd like to talk about? And I'll take the silence. Oh,
We're good.
all right. Guys, that's going to be it for this podcast. I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure that you subscribe and follow the podcast wherever it may be. Make sure you check out Austin Farmer, The Squad, and Grant Hilbert, both on YouTube, and the Rental Man Buck. Don't forget that this podcast is hosted by King May and myself. But until next time, I'll see y'all later. Peace.
History's being made here, folks.